Hi, this is Joe Walling with Dump Truck Dispatcher. Today I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about the driver app that goes with Dump Truck Dispatcher. The driver app will cut down on a lot of the communications coming into the dispatching office. Instead of everything being by phone, radio, or in-person communications, the dispatcher can just dispatch to the drivers, and they can open their driver app and they'll see their assignments, what time they're supposed to start, allow them to clock in and clock out, all done within the driver app. So as I'm doing this recording, you know, right now there's the COVID-19 pandemic, and in a lot of cases, companies are having trouble dealing with, how do I social distance? I don't want 40, 50 drivers coming into the office, each getting their individual instructions. So how can we, make that a lot easier? So you'll find that with the driver app for Dump Truck Dispatcher, that becomes a non-issue because you're giving the drivers the instructions they need to get their job done for the day. They don't even have to stop into the office to be able to clock in or clock out and to be able to get their dispatches. So real quickly, we'll look at what we have here. In this case, you see this is Deshaun Braveheart, and he's going to be in truck 112 for the day. Well, this is actually telling him what his assignment is for tomorrow because today is the 21st. And since there's no time specified, it tells him that, and he should just come in at the default start time that the office has. Prior to clocking in, we also allow Deshaun to acknowledge his dispatch. So if the day before the dispatcher had all these dispatches set up, Deshaun would know, oh, okay, here's what I'm doing tomorrow, or at least my first job of the day. So let's go ahead. I'm on the driver app now, and I'm going to go ahead and clock in. And now you see how it starts the timer up. And I'm going to go ahead and acknowledge that dispatch. Now, along with that dispatch, you'll see that, at the start it's telling me, oh, hey, I got to go over to this Vulcan Materials pit and get 100 tons of number one stone. Well, I don't know how to get there. So instead of calling into the office or radioing in, I'm just going to click on that link. It brings up my Google Maps, or if you're using an iOS, it'll bring up the one that goes with the iPhone. And I'm going to click on directions, and it's going to go ahead and tell me how to get where I am to where I'm trying to go. Now let's go back to the driver app. So now Deshaun has finished his load, gone across the scales. So we're going to go ahead and mark him as loaded. And you notice it says saving position. So we're taking the geo coordinates to go along with it, and we're storing those. And then in this case, it's giving him his delivery instructions. Now in this case, Deshaun will probably have to call in because the dispatcher forgot to put the deliver to information in there. But if he had, it would also be mappable just like the directions to the Vulcan pit was. So let's go ahead and mark this as delivered. And in the background, what's happened is the driver app has created a placeholder ticket. It's filled in the time and put the geocode and all that on it. So all the back office has to do is take the tickets, match them up to these placeholder ones, and they don't have to enter a lot of information that they would have to enter otherwise. If instead of the back office doing it, you wanted the driver to do this, we just check a settings, and the ticket information could be entered by the drivers as well as his signature and so on. Now in this case, when Deshaun completed his delivery, notice that it's taken him immediately to his next dispatch. It happens to be the same job that he's working on, and he was set up with, since he has a 20-ton truck, he was set up for 5 loads of a 20-ton truck to get his 100 tons for the day. So he could go in and acknowledge his dispatch. When he goes across the scale, so say it's loaded, and then he'll go ahead and click on delivered when he finishes delivered. And he goes through the same process, and all your other drivers would have something very similar too. So as you can see, it could really cut down on the communications coming in the office. The dispatcher doesn't even have to be sitting in your office in the yard. He could be at home somewhere, or could be on the road dealing with some other issue, and he still have real-time updates to where everybody stands on their dispatches by looking at the dispatch list, which is covered in another video. That's all for today.